Hello, we did it. Welcome to Indie Game Social Club, the accidental podcast, and the book club with no books. I'm today's nerdy hot stream master, Brian. With me today, I have the lovely, the beautiful Ilker. Um, Welcome to
Nice try.
Smalltalk. This is our every other week, is it? Every other week
Yeah, I think so.
mini chat that we do to catch up with each other, see what kind of games we're playing these days, and just generally kind of catch up and hang out.
hmm
Yeah, I'm Brian, as I said, stream master today, and I typically like retro games. I like playing a lot of classics on emulation. I play some of the AAAs, like Call of Duty. Been really into playing the zombies mode with my cousins lately. But these days, I'm all about indie games and those wonderful, beautiful, emotional experiences. And you, my friend, on the other side of the world, tell us about
hmm
yourself and what you like to play.
Hey, what's up? My name is Ilker, and I work in marketing. And since 3 weeks ago, I also started doing some educating in marketing. I usually play JRPGs, a lot of RPGs and fighting games. I would say those two are my go-to
Ooh,
type of games.
what is your I mean, I know it's like asking me what your favorite child is, but what is your
Uh-huh.
favorite RPG of all time and favorite fighting game of all time?
Shit. I think for fighting game, I would. Oh man, I would say maybe a tie between. I mean, Street Fighter Third Strike is definitely gonna be up there. But man, I've had
Ooh.
so much fun with Power Stone. If you ever remember that
Oh,
game
that was
from
on
3D.
Dreamcast, right? It was like
Yeah,
3D Arena Fighter.
yeah.
It's not like
We
2D
had.
Fighter, but I get it. Yeah.
I
Street
mean,
Fighter
we
Third
had
Strike, I
so much
remember
fun.
being
It's a
amazed.
really
Yeah.
good game, and also shout out to Capcom versus SNK. So like, I think like the games I'm dropping are the games that I played the most
Hmm.
with my friends.
That's like 90s era. Give me give me 1 second. Why don't you entertain our guests? I got to close the shade. It's getting real bright in here.
Sorry, guys. I
There you go. I got to set the mood. There you go. How you doing? You still
think I'm
choking?
choking. I think I'm choking here. Yeah.
Oh, God, I can't go and help you out. Well, shit. All right, yeah.
It's
Take a sip of
okay.
that vodka, and we'll be good.
Uh huh.
Cool. So, yeah, we can talk about. So, normally on Indie Game Social Club, what we like to do is once a month, we like to meet up and discuss our game of the month. Think of it like a book club with no books, but we use indie games instead. Through this club, I met Ilker, and discovered some amazing games and really what video games are capable of in terms of a storytelling medium, and I've fallen in love with them. The last game we picked was
Valhalla, cyberpunk bartending action.
yep,
Is
yep,
that the
yep,
full title? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a visual novel from man. What was the developer's name? Is
Oh,
escaping my mind
naughty,
right
bad
now.
for us. Hang on, I got this. I got this. It is Sukeban Games, designed by
That's right.
Christopher Ortiz.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah,
we actually did a monthly discussion of this game, but hey,
I blew it.
shit happened.
I
We,
blew
we, we
it.
blew it. We blew up the stream. It's
Uh-huh.
gone, and yeah, too bad. It
Yeah.
was a good stream. I think we had a good discussion. Um, I would say generally we both liked the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it being a visual novel, it really makes or breaks on the conversations and the writing. And for the most part, I would say the writing is really good. I think the characters that you meet are interesting enough to keep me interested
Yeah, the
in the game.
world building was, I think, fantastic and a really nice
Yeah.
take on the cyberpunk world, right?
hmm
Although
Yeah.
I think our gripe was that, well, my gripe personally was like the game itself just did not deliver. Like, it wasn't a great bartending game, even though it was billed as one, and it was an okay visual novel in that sense, you know, and like there's elements of customization and like building your own apartment, and that wasn't really fleshed out too well. But yeah, I think the developer, whoever that was, I want to kind of watch because of this game in particular. It's cool.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they are actually developing a bunch of new games. One of them is a sequel to this game, to Valhalla. But
what was it called? It was like clever. It was a name dropped.
It was Nirvana.
Nirvana, but spelled Nirvana, in this funny way. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, the game is about this bartender named Jill, and you just like the game tells a little bit of her story, but also the people around her and her customers. And you have your boss and you have your colleague, whose also name is Gil.
That was confusing at first.
Yeah, that was a bit confusing at first. Yeah. But yeah, the story is told through through your customers and like your clients, and things are going on in this world. Like there's this terrorist organization, like, or just at least a terrorist attack attempt, and you have the hacker group called Alice Rabbit, I think, and like things are happening in the background, but you're just like seeing this from Jill's perspective, which is, I think, quite interesting.
I would say, yeah, think about it as like the coolest cyberpunk movie you can think of, and this game is the bar that main character passes by in the movie. So it's like you get a lot of like what's going on out there, but through this like kind of mundane everyday life of this bartender, which is kind of neat. Great take. There's some, you know, as cutesy as the graphics were, like there were some really neat takes on like gender and just what it means to be human when you can augment yourself so far, or like even like if you're one of the 5 people in the world that has transferred your consciousness, what does that even mean, right? Are you still a human or person, and all that kind of stuff. It's neat. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Too bad no one can watch our talk about it because I blew it. We're still working out the kinks. We're new. I'm forgiving myself for that.
Just not trying to choke on stream.
Right. Yeah. Save that for
but yeah, really, that's a game I enjoyed. I still haven't completed it. I think that's a game I want to take my time completing it. I'm not going to stress it. I'm going to play that game just the way I read books whenever I feel like it. Basically, I think it's I was thinking about it this past few days. I think it's a good traveling game. Actually, it's a good game to play when you're going on a train ride or flying. Or I think it's a
I think
good traveling companion.
For me, the story and world building were interesting, but it wasn't the gameplay wasn't enough for me to like want to finish it. So I think what I'll do is just my goal is to watch a YouTube summary of it and see how it fleshes out, because I'm kind of like meh. The gameplay never really evolves as you play it, and it doesn't really crescendo. So it's just kind of like the gameplay stays flat while the story does this. You know?
But at least like 4 hours in or something like that, there's still no change. So
a lot to ask.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But music's also really great in the game.
Music was good.
Mention that. Yeah. It was really, really good, actually.
Except for that one track that sounded like Skrillex's first song ever that he experimented with, perhaps.
I think I know which song that is.
Yeah. Robot having a seizure. But yeah, I mean, I guess, so normally, we pick a game, we vote. Our group is we're like 7, 8 strong now at this point. And then at the end of the month, we after we choose the game, we discuss it. And it's really fun. Good way to discover new games. And I hope if you're watching now, it's your first time, that you will join us on the discussions, whether or not you play the game. We do spoil though.
So when's our next discussion, Brian?
Our next discussion is coming up February 28th, if I remember correctly. And it is our next game called Wandersong, which is this wonderful game. Ilker, do you have info on this game?
I have no clue. Like I think you mentioned this game
Yeah.
at some point, but I know nothing about it.
Right. So we get to kind of propose at the end of each monthly discussion what the theme will be for the next month, and I proposed that it should be wholesome because everyone was been going through some shit in the past few months. This new year didn't really bring any kind of peace or resolve to last year that people were hoping for. So I think we could have used some kind of wholesome escapism. And Wonder Song seemed like it. I mean, like if you're watching the screen, you just saw the main character hug someone and he's singing. But the premise is that you're a wandering singer and you're on a quest to gather pieces of a song that will save the world. Like, what gets more wholesome than that? It's so fucking cute. It's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, it came out in 2018, developed by Dumb and Fat Games, which is, I would love to have a Dumb and Fat t-shirt because that's my brand.
That's a great name for a company.
Yeah, and the developer's name is Greg Lobanov. I think developed in the US, if I'm not mistaken. But
well, I'm excited to play this.
Yeah, me too. It's like not expensive either. I think it's probably like less than $20.
I think it was about around $20 on Switch at least.
Yeah.
There might be some sales. You might be able to find this on a sale on Steam.
Yeah. Spring is coming, so maybe wait a week or two, see if it's on Steam sale, spring sale coming up or whatever.
Yeah.
But either way, it just looks fun. I'm a sucker for judging a book by its cover, and this looks great. I know nothing about it other than that, what I've seen. But it's original and interesting and different, you know?
It looks great, yeah.
Yeah. With that said, so that's this coming month's talk coming up in about 3 weeks, I believe. That's going to be on a Sunday. Let's go on to the meat of this podcast, which is talking about the games we've been playing.
You have an intro for that? Oh, cool.
I did. I was playing music. Yeah. I'm very self-satisfied. I've been like nerding out with Ilker because I 3D printed this Stream Deck and I wired all the buttons, and I can do on demand. I can control the podcast. I can mute, and I can like play our intro again. Ba, 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 ba. You know?
Yeah, I think that's super impressive that you actually built that shit all by yourself.
Well, that's what happens when I don't want to do stuff that I'm supposed to do. Like I'm supposed to be writing a script right now. I'm supposed to be filming a video for my secret nerdy board game account. But when I don't want to do that, I do other shit that takes an entire day to do, and it was fun.
Yeah,
it was good. Anywho, so now we're into the small talk. Let's talk about the games we've been playing. Ilker, what have you been playing?
So back during the holiday stream that we did, I was mentioning that I was looking forward to get back to my apartment from my parents and get back into Yakuza Like a Dragon. And I've been trying to finish up a few games, and we had the Valhalla discussion as well between that. But since about a week or two ago, I've been fully committed to Yakuza Like a Dragon, and I'm so deep into that game, and I'm just loving every second that I'm playing.
Well, so for the non-Yakuza players out there, what is this game? What's the gameplay? What's the premise? Because it's a huge franchise that's been around, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, this is the first game that I play in the franchise. I know of the other games in the franchise. I'm not sure how they actually play and what the stories are. But I can imagine them being somewhat similar in storytelling.
Yeah.
The gameplay here is, so if the previous Yakuza games are more like action-based combat, this is a JRPG style.
This looks bananas while I'm watching the trailer. Like they're shoulder butting people, and one person's cooking and grilling. I think as a summon, right? Yeah.
it is turn-based combat, like any classic JRPG, and you play as Ichiban Kasuga, who's this ex-yakuza. He he's an orphan that just joined the yakuza when he was young, and man, like the story is so complicated once you start telling it.
Right,
But he goes to he goes to prison for his boss. Basically,
Yeah.
he takes a bullet, and shit happens in prison, and he has to stay there for about like 13 or 15 years or something like that. So when he gets out, it's like it is modern day, modern day, and it like there's been so much development during the time he's been in isolation in prison. So like he gets out and like people are walking around with smartphones, and like he doesn't understand what's happening. Why are people just talking to screens? And people in Japan like vaping e-cigarettes got really popular. And he's like, why where are all the cigarettes? Why are they just like using these vapes? So I really enjoy the contrast. Like he's like what do you call like cultural shock that he gets when he gets out of prison.
Right. I mean, I think about 13 years ago. What was that? 2008.
Yeah.
Right.
Something like that, maybe. Yeah.
What the hell was I doing in 2008? I think I just finished college in 2008, and I didn't know shit. I was an idiot.
Yeah, I think it was the same for me. Yeah.
So much has changed.
Yeah, and I think that's a really interesting aspect of like his backstory. And when he gets out, like he has nothing. He becomes homeless, and you try to find a job, and you make new friends who are also homeless and without jobs, and it's like. You meet a lot of people in this game, and you build your party. For now, I have a party of 3 people.
Is it a good RPG? Is it a good JRPG? Because you play a lot.
I do. I would say it's okay. Like I'm not playing this game for the RPG parts, for the combat. I thought I would, but for me, like. It is the story, and I can totally understand. Like, if the storytelling in these games in this game is similar to what they've done in previous Yakuza games, then I totally understand the fan base. Like, I understand the following of these games because it is so melodramatic and it's so good. Like, it's a good mix between wacky and silly and like serious and sometimes like silly serious. It's almost like I'm watching a Japanese soap opera.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I you got to appreciate a game that just fucking goes for it, right? Like doesn't take a half step, but like fully commits into like we're not gonna just be like humorous, but we're gonna be batshit crazy, and there's something to be appreciated by that, right?
Definitely, and again, like they go from batshit crazy to like telling these like really sad stories. Like you have one of your party members, Adachi, who's an ex-cop, and he gets kicked out of the force, like really close to his retirement, because he's snooping around the wrong tree, and the police force being corrupt, they just kick him out, And when you hang out in the bar and you get to know your characters that you hang out with, he tells you the story that, oh yeah, my partner got killed 10 years ago, and I've been sending anonymously. I've been sending money to his kid so he can go to college. And now that Adachi is without a job, and like he's also like, I don't have any money. He doesn't have any income. He's still sending money to this kid because like he feels it's his responsibility until he can like actually finish college. And you have like these heavy backstories for these characters, which is like, I don't know. I think it's really, really interesting, and like it really draws me in.
Does it make you want to play all the other Yakuza games, which are all on Game Pass these days? By the way,
think I
Zero or something.
Definitely want to go back and play Yakuza. Is it Kiwami or is it Zero? I think Zero is the prequel. I think that's one I actually want to go back to and play after this. But yeah, it's super fun, and again, like the RPG elements are there. They are they are fun, but like what actually keeps me like what makes the combat fun is like, as you see in the trailer here, like you can change jobs. You start off as hero, or like I think
Right.
Adachi he starts off as detective, but you can spec him into chef or TV host, or what is it called?
That's what. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Knight, I
and
see
like
right now.
exactly. So now I have this girl in my party, Sayeko, I think her name is called, and I made her into a hostess. And what she does is just like throwing business cards at people and doing like tons of damage. And she like brings out the champagne bottle and just shakes it and shoots it at people. Like it's just like super silly attacks, and I think that's what at least now making the combat fun for me. Just seeing what shit they can do.
That's awesome. Nice.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Yakuza Like a Dragon?
No, I think I'm about 14 hours in. I think I might be on the third or fourth chapter. I'm investigating the Chinese mafia after they killed my boss or something like that.
Oh
And
shit! I mean, the graphics
I
look
mean,
pretty great.
I think this might be the PlayStation 5 trailer that's rolling. But yeah, it looks good. I mean, for PlayStation 4 game, I think it's available on Steam as well, but I'm playing
Yeah.
on my PlayStation, and
Nice.
it looked good. It looks all right.
Shout out to the 3 viewers right now, 2 of which are me and Ilker, and 1 of which
Yeah,
may be a Russian bot. So
probably, yeah.
Crowded house today. Welcome. As per usual. Love it. Cool, man.
Yeah,
like, I don't know if this game is for me. Like, I don't know. I just don't have the patience for like 80-hour RPGs anymore. But I loved the fucking insanity of it, and I heard Yakuza 0, the Giant Bomb guys talk about it, and that's a good entry point into the series, and it just sounds equally as silly, but also nice story. So
yeah, I think that game has a little bit more seriousness to it, but like from my understanding, they also like they do it so well with the mix of silliness and seriousness. But I in Yakuza, like in this game, Like a Dragon, it feels like they go full on crazy, in a good way.
Right. Cool.
But yeah, that's Yakuza.
Yeah.
And I've been also playing Animal Crossing, like a dragon.
Animal Crossing, like you know what? I should change the title. Hang on, I'm gonna change the title of our stream to Animal Crossing Like a Dragon.
It's Animal Crossing New Horizons. That is also a game that I started playing when it got out, and I think, like many others, I fell out of that game pretty hard. But I went back in like 1 or 2 weeks ago, and I said to my animals, "Hey, I'm back. There's gonna be some changes. There's a lot of crazy people living here. I'm gonna have to kick out a few of you from my island, just so you know." And I've been doing some restructuring and some bannings on animals from my
I didn't know you could do that.
Just
That's interesting. I know there was like this like counterfeit fox, or that was selling counterfeit paintings and stuff like that.
I mean, you can have up to 8 animals living on your island, and you basically invite them, but you can kick them out as well. And there's a lot of weirdos living on my island right now. For anyone watching this who actually plays this game, they will probably recognize this. Like the animals send you random letters to your mailbox, and I got this one mail from this fucking pig. He's literally a pig. His name is Cracker.
It's no way to call police officers, Ilker. Come on.
And what it does is like what it says in the letter is like, I dipped this letter in gravy and I licked it off, so it would be only like will be smelling like gravy. I'm like,
that's kind of gross. It's gravy. Was gravy in quotes?
Yeah, and like I can't handle him. Like he's been crazy ever since he like moved into my island, and like he's just so weird. And that was the last drop. I put him in quarantine. I put a what do you call it, like a wall around his house, so he can't get out.
Yeah.
And he's gonna stay there until I decide what to do with him.
You animal, you monster. God, Animal Crossing is a game that is so stinking cute. It just oozes charm. My mom started playing Animal Crossing, and she sent me like a picture of her character, and it's so cute, and it still looks like my mom too. And she's like, like it's a way for people to express themselves in the digital world, and like so my mom just kind of ran with it because she bought a Switch because she's watching my niece, and I told her Animal Crossing is great because it teaches you how to essentially do chores and earn money by doing hard work to get the things that you want in your world,
Pay your loans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Loans and...
Yeah. And then my mom was like, through teaching my niece how to play, she like kind of got interested and is doing her own thing on the island too, which is really neat. I played the shit out of that game when it first came out because that came out at the perfect time. I think
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
Second week of shelter in place for the world, and it was exactly what everyone needed.
Yeah, I think that would like. I think I heard that it might be the best-selling game on Switch right now.
Probably.
I don't have any facts to back that up. I was listening to
no, people will believe you. Just spit out anything you want as truth.
But yeah, that game, as you said, like it came out in the perfect time. Like it was a perfect storm for that game.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, I've been having some. I want to say I'm having fun with that, but also like I'm just going in there and doing my chores during lunchtime, since I'm working from home.
Yeah,
you just like go in there, do my dailies basically, and try to save up some money because I want to do some changes. I want to do some restructure once spring comes because right now my island is just covered in snow.
Yeah.
And I can't really see what I'm doing, but I have some plans. I've actually been decorating this campsite that I have, and it's starting to look good. But I want to see it in springtime.
Nice. New year, new you.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, those are the two games that I've been playing since last time.
Nice. It's good to return to some old favorites sometimes, right?
It is, but yeah, like again, like I've been so excited to play Yakuza, and I'm happy that I finally have time to actually commit to that because since it is a pretty large game time wise.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you, Brian? What have you been playing?
Again, like we talked about last time, it's just been so heavy, and I've had my emotional ups and downs, and when that happens, it can take a toll on you in terms of like motivation. So like I haven't had the motivation to play these big meaty, like even 20+ hour games. So I've been going and playing a lot of like the small indie hits that are like no more than say 3 or 4 hour games, and so I've been playing a lot of those. One of which was Cyber Shadow, which came out. Hang on, let me change the title here. Cyber Shadow. There's got to be a smooth.
Oh, wait, is it Yacht Club that?
Yes, Yacht Club Games. Is that
cool.
Did they do? Wondersun? No, they didn't do Wondersun.
No, they did Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight, yes. So Cyber Shadow was an indie developer, I think a one-man team, and then Yacht Club Games picked it up to basically distribute it and be kind of like an advisor, right? And so the big selling point for me was, oh shit, they're gonna do with Ninja Gaiden what they did with what Shovel Knight did with action adventure DuckTales, Mega Man type games, So I think they greatly succeeded it. I actually played this and finished it last week.
Oh, cool.
It is a lot of classic pattern memorizations, like think Mega Man, think Ninja Gaiden, but a little bit more forgiving. But it didn't stick with me. Like I almost forgot that I played it. Like it was fun and the experience was really tight and cool, but I think it was just a little bit forgettable for me. There were some pain points, like the controls were pretty iffy. They tried to stick really hard to the 2-button mechanic to its detriment.
Oh,
Like I
okay.
think they could have used a third button for parry, because the button for parry is forward, and sometimes you'll
Hmm.
just walk into a bullet instead of parrying. So a parry
Yeah.
button would have been nice.
I mean, it looks like a Super Nintendo game, so they could have done 6 buttons, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Or yeah, just I mean, it's a modern game
Yeah.
with retro aesthetics, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, I don't know. I would give it a solid 7. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, good, not amazing.
Do you play like different levels? Is it like split up into stages, or is it the same like map you're playing? Like, is it
I
more
would.
like a Metro?
It's a faux Metroidvania. I would say it's kind of more like Castlevania 3 on Nintendo, where
Oh,
like
okay.
there's an overworld map,
Yeah.
and you can. There's a little bit of backtracking if you want, but generally speaking, it's pretty linear. There's no
Okay.
like yeah, and you gain these abilities that are kind of slow. And I think if you started off with maybe like the double jump or the wall cling in the beginning of the game, it'd pick up pace a lot faster.
Mhm.
But yeah, and what's nice about it is, as hard as it is, there's unlimited lives, so there's no like you're not going to quit if you keep dying. You know,
Okay.
like they kind of
Oh, that's
back you
good.
up to a reasonable
Yeah.
position, which is nice. Um, but yeah, I think if you're a fan of challenging platformer games, you like retro games like me. I always think I like Metroidvanias, but in reality, I think I like more action platformers like this, because I never
Yeah.
finish Metroidvanias, but I always finish games like this. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, for better or for worse, I finished it and it was good. Great. That's Cyber Shadow.
I've been wanting to get back into a Castlevania or a Metrovania, but I don't know.
We got to find a good entry point for you.
I think we do.
Yeah.
I kind of just want to go back to play Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
I played that. Actually, not a huge fan of Symphony of the Night.
Oh,
Gotta
okay.
say. Oh,
Well,
now we're down to
one of those
one
people.
follower. No, I like the Nintendo DS kind of Metroidvanias, Castlevania games that came out. Those were fantastic.
It was Circle of the Moon? I think was that for. No, maybe that was for Game Boy Advanced. Advanced.
Yeah, but those were all great. But I think as amazing as Symphony of the Night was, like they just improved on that formula drastically when they hit the handheld consoles. And I wish they would do. They have to at some point do some sort of remaster and like release all the handheld versions on like the Switch store or something like that. I'd totally buy that.
Yeah,
It's really
I
great.
really want to play that Bloodstained game, but I want to play it on Switch, and I heard that the port is not that good, and it doesn't seem fixed.
Ritual of the Night, right? Because Curse of the Moon is the 8-bit version, and Ritual of the Night is like the Symphony of the Night 3D
looking one. Yeah. I think that's the one. Yeah.
I mean, I heard they have been continuing support of that game, and it's just fucking bonkers. Like everything Symphony of the Night was, and crazier. Like it's Yakuza crazy where it goes.
Yeah. I think I would like that game, but again, I really want to play it on Switch, and I haven't heard good things about that port.
We'll keep following it. It might get better.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
What else? I've played. We'll talk about a few more games I've played. Let's see. I've played. There was a huge Capcom sale, and I picked up Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Oh, okay. Is that on Steam?
Remake. Yep. And they give Resident Evil 2 the Resident Evil 4 treatment, in that it's like over the shoulder, a lot more active. They switch things up so that if you've played the old Resident Evil, the scares are not in the same place. They have I think ray tracing compatible. So like I have a RTX 2080 Super, and I've run it on max settings, and it looks incredible. It looks really good. Like the water reflections, the shadows, the contact shadows, all that stuff looks so good. And it's fun. So far, it's not demanding too much. I think it's no more than like an 8-hour game, and I've been kind of sitting down and taking it out like an hour or two at a time. And I never finished the original. I really liked it. I just have great
Yeah.
memories of playing it with my friend and us screaming at the top of our lungs. It's like a carnival ride, you know. It's just fun to be
Yeah.
scared, and it's not like too scary, you know.
I have some great memories with that game as well. And yeah, I downloaded the demo. I think it was for this game when they released it, but I downloaded it on my PlayStation, and I'm playing on a PlayStation 4 Slim, and it felt like it was going to take off. Like the fan was just working
Yeah.
all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like I don't know. Like I just quit the game, and like I don't think my PlayStation will handle this. Like
No way. Yeah, I heard
it
about the
felt like
PS4
right.
getting crazy hot and the fans going nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, hearing that it's available on Steam as well, I think I might
It's
get it. Yeah.
It's a gorgeous game. It looks really, really good. Too bad. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't think Capcom has come out with any like super original new franchises. They're not taking any risks. They're just kind of like remaking shit. It's kind of like the problem with Hollywood, just remaking old stuff, and they know people will buy it. But
yeah,
like, I want to see them bring shit back. Like, make a great new Mega Man game. Make a great new Beautiful Joe game. Like, how many legendary properties do they have that they're just not dipping into? You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean that new Resident Evil game, Village, kind of looks exciting. But I'm with you. I would love if they just went out of their way and tried a new IP, or at least try to revive one of their old IPs. I think I would like any other fighting game fan, please bring back Darkstalkers. That would be so awesome to see a new take on that.
Oh shit, that's right. They're killer on fighting games. My God, that's right. But Darkstalkers, if they gave it the Street Fighter 4 treatment.
Yeah. I mean, like Capcom and SNK, like they used to be the kings of fighting games, but like it kind of feels like they handed out the crown to
Arc System games.
Arc System game, yeah, because they have just been like killing it with.
So I threw that out like I knew what I was talking about, but I can't. Is Arc System Games a company or a game engine?
It is a company, yeah.
Oh, okay. So because the name is confusing, because Arc System sounds like it's like Unreal Engine or something like that.
Yeah.
But Arc System,
I think it's Arc System Games. I think the company is called.
So it's this generation's Capcom or SNK, right?
Yeah, because like everything they touch just like turns into gold. Like they do so good fighting games, and everything they release is just. It's masterpiece after masterpiece, in my opinion.
Did they do that Dragon Ball FighterZ?
They did, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was God, beautiful game.
Yeah, and like they recently last year they released the Grand Blue Fantasy Versus game that came out, and that also like it looks gorgeous. And I think this April they will be releasing the next game in the Guilty Gear series, which is gonna be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. I sent you a few clips of some gameplay of that game, and it looks so gorgeous.
Yeah, back when I was in college, I used to see these kids in the I forget what the student union, what it was called, like set up, like they brought their own like TV from home, and they would set up their like computers and emulate Guilty Gear. And I was like, oh, look at these fucking nerds. And I was secretly just like walk by like more than once just to see what they're playing. Like, man, that looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Like, you see that anime, and you see all this the cool attacks and
very fancy. Meanwhile, I'm here like soldering my own fucking Stream Deck. Like, fucking nerds, me. Yeah, so I played that Resident Evil. That's Resident Evil, and I think finally we should bring up a game that me and Simon played the other day, which was a surprising hit. In fact, we got like our most viewers ever when we played that game. And that game is The Witness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about The Witness.
It's a puzzle game where you just start off knowing nothing, and you're solving puzzles. I tried to describe this game for my friend who doesn't play video games. He's like, man, that sounds so fucking boring. like, like, what is the story? I'm like, I don't know. There's statues everywhere of like frozen people. I have no idea if there's a story. There's something going on in the background, but like, I don't know. Like, you just solve puzzles and you get to the next stage basically. But it's non-linear. Like well, I would say like it's an open world puzzle game basically.
Yeah, that's how the viewers described it, and
I think you did a really good likeness of it to Metroid.
It's like a Metroidvania, right? Yeah,
exactly. I thought that was really clever. I don't know if that was your idea. If you found it anywhere else, but yeah, I think that was a.
No, I said it was a Metroidvania because like the viewers kept saying like, oh, if you encounter this area and you don't have the knowledge of solving this puzzle, you have to come back later when you've encountered something else. So it's like you encounter a wall, you go back somewhere, pick up the ability. In this case, in this game, it's knowledge, and then you come back with that knowledge later on how to solve the puzzle. And they do such a good job because you can't brute force it. You know, like if you brute force these puzzles, they kind of reset in such a way that you have to. It's not fruitful, right, you know. And so it's very, very satisfying. It should also be noted it came out 5 years ago in 2016, developed by Thekla Inc., by a guy named Jonathan Blow, designed by Jonathan Blow. And it seems like a small team.
Yeah. I mean, and you're basically doing the same thing over and over again, but like what you're doing, like you draw a line from point A to B, but like they just develop it and they like put more and more what do you call it, like obstacles in there for you to solve basically,
right? It's and they're never impossible feeling, right? Like they're just hard enough that when you feel like you're frustrated, you've solved it, right? Like even that one occasion when Simon was doing a puzzle, we turned around and looked at a view, and then when we turned back around, Simon solved it like that, which I thought was like really neat. Sometimes you just got to walk away from something, even if it's digital, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a really good lesson from that game as well. Like you can solve any problem, but sometimes you just need to take a break. Absolutely. When something feels impossible.
And then, this game I would also classify, on top of being a puzzle game, it is a walking sim, and that like, you know, you're walking around. The controls aren't like crazy Twitch controls or anything like that, but like you're walking, and the story unveils itself through the environment, and these like USB thumb drives that you find on the floor that Simon hates.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, no one wants to watch this. Like literally, me and you were like, we want to watch it. Yeah. And everyone in chat was like, we want to listen.
Yeah, like the only story beats, and you get like these comments are in there for a reason, right? In my opinion, like the developer put there for a reason, and then like this fucking guy just skips it over and just walks away. I'm like,
he wants to boulder through the game, just. But yeah, if you like games like Myst or Firewatch or even Edith Finch. You'd probably like this game. A walking sim with puzzles. You like a little brain burning. Like I'm not a huge fan of puzzles, but these puzzles make me feel real smart.
Same for me. Like I never been that huge on puzzle games. I played a few puzzle games definitely, but I actually really like this game. I was at the store to buy something else, and by the cashier they had this thing lying there. So
Rubik's Cube.
A Rubik's Cube.
Have you solved it yet?
After playing. No, I haven't. Because I'm not smart enough, but I'm learning.
Just walk away and come back to it, you know?
Exactly. But yeah, like I got into this puzzle mood after playing that game. Nice. So I bought a Rubik's Cube.
You know what though? Like I would recommend, if you play this game, I haven't played it alone, but like, God, it was so fun to play it with other people, because
it was,
the way you think is completely different from the way I think and the way Simon thinks, you know? So like us bringing our different minds together definitely helps solve the puzzles in a good way, right? Like we were stuck on that thing, and then the hedge maze, and then like we didn't know, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, did we check on the sound or like looking on the floor. I was like, what's different about this? The floor is different. And yeah, just looking at the puzzle differently was like very satisfying, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Like that was triple the brain power, as someone mentioned in the chat.
Yeah, which equals to one normal brain.
One functioning brain.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, I think that is that is a really fun game to play together because as you said, like people will bring different experiences and different ways of viewing a problem, and I think that's someone else that mentioned in the chat. There are two types of people who one type that take notes, one that doesn't and just do things.
That's me. Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great game to play with someone else. I thoroughly enjoy that, and we're actually aiming to play that, to continue play that tomorrow at this time.
That's right. But
you had forgotten about it.
Well, hey, look, when we schedule shit, I put in my calendar, and I remember because I get updates. But Simon, he there's his desire to do things, and then there's his like remembering to do those things that he wants to do.
I'm not counting on that he's going to remember, but we'll see.
Yeah. We'll ping him after this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But we can't play it without him. It's his save file for one thing.
Exactly. It would feel wrong to play this without him as
also,
well.
He's been overwhelmed with a lot of work, so maybe we can just chip away at it, like throw another solid hour into it or whatnot. But
yeah,
Simon is the other co-founder of this group, Indie Game Social Club. He designed all these graphical assets you're seeing. He designed the logo. He designed the Smalltalk logo. And yeah, I used all those to create the assets for the animation intro that you see in the beginning of this. And yeah, he's much loved. I've known the guy longer than anyone else in this group. Like a brother. And yeah, I mean, reconnecting with him through the pandemic was kind of what helped me get through it. Shit.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Right.
Cool.
Let's see. How about, so those were the games we've been playing. Let's transition to games that we're excited about. Hang on one second. Let me turn off this title, but I'll keep the witness on.
Push one of your buttons on.
It's transition time to games we're excited about. I pushed the button. It's great. I don't have to click anything. It's wonderful. Cool. Yeah. So let's talk about games we're excited about. This is a big week for games. If you're in the Nintendo Switch, or in certain indie games in general. But
I only know one game that is releasing this week, but.
What game are you excited
to play? Tell me. You tell me.
I am excited to play Super Mario 3D World.
Oh, is that
plus
this week?
Bowser's Fury? Yeah, that comes out this week. I don't care how old I ever get. Like, I will turn into a kid again when I play Mario. And there's definitely good and bad Mario games, but like I will play them. And I'll just, it's like checking in on an old friend, like an old family member. Like, it's just nice to know that they're still around, and still kicking.
We talked about playing that game with a friend of mine, and
it's simultaneous multiplayer online too, I believe.
Is it online as well?
From a review I saw, yes. How good it is, I don't know.
Yeah, when it comes to Nintendo and online play, I don't trust them, but yeah, it would be nice to do some couch co-op. But yeah, it's a pandemic still, and he also has two small children. And from my experience, stay away from people that has children if you want to stay still healthy.
Right. Yeah. What do you call it? Oh, I'm just looking at my wish list here. So yeah, there's Super Mario 3D World. Any other game that you had in mind?
There is also, I think, Little Nightmares 2 is releasing.
There you go. That's right, Little Nightmares 2. That happened to be our October game of the month.
The first one. Yeah.
Although at this point, I don't know if I would call it an indie game because it's like published by Namco and it's like pretty well known, but it has an indie spirit, we can at least say.
Wasn't the first one published by Namco as well?
Yes, I think it was published by Namco, but developed by small indie group. You know, like you can just take your indie game and pitch it to a studio to publish it for you.
It's still the same Swedish studio that does it.
Oh, okay.
Well, but I'm just guessing here.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. We'll just say it as facts.
Great quality.
It's worked before. Hey, we're not responsible for any reporting our website, so I'm good. Hands clear.
I'm not a journalist.
Yeah. Forget that. I'm just some dude farting around on the internet. But yeah, let's see. I subscribe to a couple of indie game channels on YouTube. One of them is Get Indie Gaming. That's where I get a lot. And Best Indie Gaming is a lot. It's kind of like indie games from a different perspective. A lot of like foreign Asian games and stuff like that. And so whenever I post a link in the group, it's usually from those guys that I discovered it. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I think this week out is Oceanhorn Chrono something. Well, basically, Oceanhorn was like a Zelda clone on iOS, right? Oceanhorn 2 was like basically the same idea, but trying to be a little bit more like Breath of the Wild. And this new Oceanhorn is completely different. It is in the Oceanhorn world, pixel art instead of 3D. And it is kind of like a dungeon crawler, not unlike Diablo or Gauntlet. And it looks cool, but I think the reviews came out and it was kind of very middling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to play it?
No. I might wait for it because it's iOS only right now, but I think wait for it's eventually going to come out on Steam for sure. And I might wait for a sale. And who knows? Like sometimes indie games, like if they get bad reviews, they'll go in and they'll add to it or make it better. So I'll wait for that and see how it goes. You know. Let's see anything else, but really, like, I think my social life's going to go down the shitter on Friday when Mario comes out because it's going to be me in my pajamas with some pizza.
You and Mario.
Me and Mario.
The green Mario.
Just catching up. Yeah. But yeah, Super Mario 3D World is kind of a take on Super Mario 3D Land for the 3DS. Have you ever played it?
I might have. But isn't this basically the same game that was released on Wii U?
Yes. Yeah. And then so it's not like your full-on traditional 3D Mario, right? Like Mario 64 or Mario Sunshine. But it's a very kind of curated start to finish level design, you know? And that's the level design that was in Super Mario 3D Land. And that game was really fun and charming and looked really great in 3D. I played it and I finished it. And then there was a whole other game where you get to play as Luigi for some bonus levels. And I was like, I think I'm done. But it's, I mean, I will never complain about too much game. Like that's good value.
Yeah, exactly. And when it comes to Super Mario, I can't have enough of that.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that. I'm excited. I should actually go pick that up tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Then again, like I don't think I will have any more time to play any games because Yakuza.
That's true.
I feel like I want to fully commit.
Well, unless you squeeze out some hours for Wandersong, our next monthly game, buddy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, that's definitely gonna happen. But yeah, other than that, I have just too many. Like my birthday was last week, and my brother gifted me Red Dead Redemption 2, and I feel kind of forced to play that because it was gifted to me, and he's asking me, "Oh, have you started playing? Have you installed it? And like, what do you think about it?" And like, yeah, I'm playing Yakuza right now, and there's a lot of mini games in it.
It's an amazing game, but you really have to. It can't be one of the games where you pick it up and then you forget about it for a week. You got to play it straight through because the story is so good.
I told him as well. Like if once I start playing that game, I want to fully commit to that as well. I want to do the cowboy life and ride around and
you can live like me. You know, that's how us Americans live.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What else? I bought a game that was cheap called Conarium. Have you heard of that one?
No, it was the first.
I was gonna play that on stream. Maybe tonight I'll do it, or tomorrow night or something like that. But it is a walking sim puzzler, but in the Lovecraft universe, and it's supposed to be. I love the kind of like H.P. Lovecraft, eldritch horror kind of world, you know. Despite the H.P. Lovecraft as a human was like incredibly racist, but the stories that he created were really cool.
He was a piece of shit. Yeah,
yeah. That's why another debate. It's like, can you separate the art from the artist? My answer, sometimes.
It depends. Yeah, it really depends.
But yeah, Canarium. I'm interested to play that. I like the spooky, scary world, Eldritch Mythos, Elder God stuff. That's really fun. Definitely going to play some Wander Song, lighten the mood a little bit. And yeah, that's it. Maybe finish Resident Evil 2. So by the next time we chat, which will be the chat right before our monthly discussion, I'll have some more to say about Resident Evil 2.
Cool.
Any other games for you?
No. Again, it's probably just going to be Animal Crossing and Yakuza. Like I have a back catalog of like really huge time sink games. I have no idea how I'm gonna just manage to play them. Like I after Yakuza, I want to play. Well, I said Red Dead Redemption 2. I want to play Sakura Wars that I just bought, which is also another JRPG. And, I also want to get into that 13 Sentinels game as well.
Oh God, goodbye.
I heard that it's not that long, but it's still a story game, like story-driven game that you have to like fully commit to actually enjoy it.
Yeah. That was in the running for Giant Bomb's Game of the Year. I saw them talk about that a lot. It seemed crazy, like wild.
Yeah, I listened to their Game of the Year discussions, and every time they started talking about the 13 Sentinels and Yakuza, I just skipped it over because I didn't want to spoil it, because I want to play those games. I just want to find the time to do that.
Yeah, it's an investment for sure.
Other than that, I want to find time to do some painting, because I'm painting some Warhammer as well.
Oh yeah, we did last Friday. We did a paint along where we just kind of hung out. I would equate it with like a Stitch and Bitch, where people get in like a sewing circle and just kind of casually sew stuff and talk about their feelings, and that's what we were doing.
I mean, that we used to do that. I did that a few times with my brother. We talked about it with my Warhammer gaming group to just like, hey, let's meet up sometime. This was pre-pandemic, by the way, and like just let's meet up and do some painting and just like talk about the hobby. It's super chill. That was
the first time I ever did it. It was really fun and enjoyable.
Yeah, cool. But I've been doing this for a few weeks now with another Swedish friend. It's been really enjoyable. Like you just like talk shit, like talk about things that are happening in our lives, and talk about Warhammer and new miniatures coming out, and yeah. It's
great. It's comfort food, you know, in times like this.
It is.
It's wonderful.
Definitely, yeah.
I guess that's it, huh? Games that we're excited about. Should we wrap it up from here?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out and listening and watching us on Smalltalk, our bi-weekly chit chat about the games we're playing and games we're excited about. Be sure to join us on February 28th for our monthly discussion on Wonder Song. I'll try to put it on the schedule to remember and remind you guys. Have we been tweeting?
Maybe tomorrow?
We have a Twitter. What's our Twitter?
We have a Twitter. I have not been tweeting because I never know when you're streaming.
Yeah.
You never let me know.
Well, there's a way to set it up, I believe, to auto-tweet when I'm streaming, and I just haven't done that. I forget how to do it.
We have a Twitter account. Yeah, it's IGSC... IGSC community, maybe. We get it right next time. Sorry about that.
No, that's it. It's IGSC community. Maybe we'll get it right next time on Twitter.
Exactly. Don't forget the @
Yeah. Yep. All right. With that said, I'm going to mute our asses and play us out. Say goodbye, Ilker.
Goodbye, Ilker.